We are back on the record. The time is approximately 4:14 p.m.
So just want to run through some items that and confirm whether or not IT is involved in tracking or analyzing the data about them. So first up.
Okay, I'm sorry. I obviously missed a word in there. So you wanted to confirm whether or not IT was involved in something in analyzing the data about them.
Tracking or analyzing data on the following topics.
Okay, thank you.
Wholesale purchases.
Wholesale purchases are managed through finance.
Is IT involved in tracking the wholesale purchase numbers?
No.
What about retail sales?
Same. The most we offer is just the connections, and then that's a handoff to finance and their data team to do the analysis.
And for retail sales, what would you be connecting finance to? Where would that data come from?
That's coming from our retail database.
So Bless or Audrey?
Yes. Audrey, I can't speak for Audrey because Audrey was managed, Austin was connecting to the Audrey database to pull the data that was available at that time.
What about returns?
Same. It's all managed through finance or someone from the let's say finance or sales. Whoever. All IT supports is the platforms, the uptimes, and the integrations.
Is there data at LuLaRoe about the number of people signing up
Objection form.
as IFRs?
Not that I'm aware of.
What about data regarding IFRs leaving the IFR business?
You broke up there, Joseph.
What about data? Let me strike that. Does LuLaRoe have data regarding the numbers of IFRs who stop being IFRs?
Objection form.
When you refine that quite, did you say stopping as IFRs?
Yeah, they quit or they.
Again, it's if the data is there, if it's a cancellation request that's submitted, then they can do the math to see how many have canceled that day.
But that's not something that IT has been asked to collect data on.
No, it's all generated. It's basically a case. So someone's pulling that information. We just connect to the data source.
So if you turn to the stack of papers that was printed, I'd like to turn, it's probably on the top. I'll pull it up and also provide a Bates number. So the Bates number is LLR-WA000007715.
Okay.
I'm marking this as exhibit 287.
288.
Oh, 288, thank you.
Okay.
It's a little hard for me to tell if you're still reviewing the document. Just let me know whenever you're ready.
I'm sorry, I'm ready.
Okay. So this is an email from early 2016. You're included on it in the CC line. It's from Austin Stidham. Also included is Aman Bekar, who I believe you mentioned earlier as being one of the few IT personnel who was there when you joined, but you mentioned it was a team of two. He was one of them.
But I'm sorry, one of the few IT personnel who was there when you joined, but
You mentioned that he was one of the two IT personnel that was at LuLaRoe when you joined.
Correct.
And attached to it is what's called an end-of-year consultant report, which starts several pages later in the exhibit. Does this attachment, do you recognize this attachment?
I don't recognize the attachment.
Are you familiar with the term end-of-year consultant report?
Yes,
Does this look like an end-of-year consultant report?
Objection 4.
It looks like an end of year report, but this looks, from my understanding, this was pulled from the Audrey platform. And reading the email, it was a spreadsheet that was compiled and then created into a mail merge to send to each individual retailer what their total sales, taxes collected.
Oh, I see. So normally an end of year report might just have one of these rows. But this document, for whatever reason, is an aggregation of multiple rows that would be normally on individual reports.
Correct.
And if you look at the attachment, it has a row for total sales and a row for, pardon me, let me start over. This attachment has a column for total sales and a column for total items sold. Do you see those columns?
Yes.
Does this indicate that in 2015, reports could be run showing the total sales and total items sold of an IFR?
Objection 4.
As I'm just seeing this attachment, it looks like it was pulled from Audrey from the sales that were captured in that year 2015 for tax purposes.
And what do you mean for tax purposes?
For the retailer to work with their taxes that they as a merchant account.
I see. And so at that time, I know at some point in time, LuLaRoe began collecting and remitting sales tax for IFRs. Was there a time when IFRs had to remit them themselves?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know.
You don't know either way, right?
Right.
Okay. To your knowledge, could the total sales and total items sold by an IFR be exported from Audrey?
If it was available, yes. But that didn't happen until maybe I think what date was this one? February. So that sounds about right. So maybe the second, third month of when Audrey was semi-stable at that time.
Well, so if you go to the first page of the email, at the bottom, it says all LR consultants included in the table, parentheses, with data in 2015. So this was run in 2016, but it reflects 2015 data. Right.
But the assumption that the retailer was using Audrey for retail sales.
Right. It's assuming that the IFR is using, as you described earlier, the website browser at their pop-up to capture all that information from their customers.
Correct.
So we touched a little bit, earlier we touched a little bit about, strike that. Earlier we talked about LuLaRoe's website, and the public-facing one being primarily marketing. I want to talk a little bit about websites that were only available to IFRs. You've mentioned one being the platform in which they buy goods. That would be Exigo. Are there other LuLaRoe websites that only IFRs can access?
Today, the only sites that they have access to is the wholesale platform, which is Exigo. They each have their own retailer web portal for managing their own point of sale. They can log into Salesforce to open a case, depending on the situation. If it's a system related issue, a compliance issue, or missing item from their wholesale inventory, that's through Salesforce. Marketing has their main website, but that wasn't gated, meaning there was no password. It's just a main website where they can download assets, digital assets, which is also tied to Box as a repository for, and when I mean digital assets, that's it's related to the style, like an image of, I'm having a party, of a style, or a capsule, if it was like Americana, any of our themes of our collections that we sold to the retailer.
Have you heard of the website fashionfun.com?
Yes, that's also marketing's Squarespace site for training content, mainly just content. It is secure. It's, when I say gated, meaning it has a password. So the retailers will have access by password to access the content.
Did you say gated?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So fashionfun.com is run by LuLaRoe. It doesn't have the word LuLaRoe in it, but it's a LuLaRoe website.
It's marketing's website.
And how long has that website been in existence?
I can't recall. It was introduced, I'm going to say 2018, 2017. I don't recall the actual month.
Okay, but it wasn't around when you first started.
No.
And how are the training materials? So it sounds like training materials are hosted or posted there. Where are the training materials themselves stored?
That I don't know, because it's based on marketing and the video content, the video team. It could be on a video streaming service that they have. I'm not sure.
I see. So if it were providing videos that were on either like YouTube or Vimeo, those videos themselves would be accessible even outside the site. Is that right?
If they make them publicly available.
Are there any other websites like Fashion Fun that have different domain names that LuLaRoe maintains?
Not that I'm aware of.
Actually, can we go off the record real quick? I have a question for Whitney. I'm not sure if it's something we sent made it down. I want to check.
Sure.
Off the record, the time is approximately 4:34 p.m.